This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Good Wednesday morning. Don't sit around the TV all day. I'll be your weatherman. It's raining. It's wet. It's a little cold. Weather report's over. You know how it is. Every time there's a little storm, these no good son of a bitches on TV, they want to keep you glued to the TV set. And they give you a weather report, and they give you half of it or a third of it. Then they go to 8 minutes worth of commercials. Then they give you the other third. Then they go to another 8 minutes worth of commercials. You don't hear many commercials here on KQQZ 1190 AM or KZQZ 1430 AM because, see, we don't give a damn. If we get somebody that gives us a commercial and then sometime it's, Bob, you know, you're talking about a friend of mine and I'm advertising, so you know what I say? Take the advertising off. Don't give a damn. Like to have the money, but you know what? I may die a little bit poor, but I'll die as a man. Don't sell out, people. Even if you sell out for $1 million, sooner or later that $1 million is going to be gone. And with that $1 million gone, your manhood, your integrity is gone. So don't ever sell out to these no good son of a bitches. Let's take care of our housekeeping. Got a call from our good friend, Charlie Meyer, state representative out of the 108th District out of Oakville. He's on his way in. I asked Charlie to come in and talk about the Murray Center, about our state budget. And, you know, Charlie Meyer, you guys in Oakville, you guys in the 108th State Representative District, and I like Charlie, have a lot of respect for Charlie, but more so than that, anytime he's available, and a lot of time he's in Springfield, he says, Bob, I'd be more than happy to come on your show. Now, you know he doesn't agree with the way I talk. Hopefully he agrees with some of the things I say. Maybe not my delivery, but that's okay. But Charlie says, Bob, I'll come anytime I can talk to my constituents. I can talk to the people that have put me in office, that were gracious enough to vote for me. He says, I'm honored by representing the people of the 108th District, and I will give time to those people and people throughout the state of Illinois anytime I can. So I want to salute Charlie Meyer for that, for the transparency that he always brings to the table. And he's on his way in, so stick around. He'll be with us momentarily. Also, I got a gentleman, well, I shouldn't say gentleman, a friend of mine sitting in with me, Big John Watkins. He's an ex-East St. Louis Flyer, and we're going to talk a few minutes about the school district. But let's get rid of I shouldn't say get rid, because it's not get rid. Let's take care of our little public service. You know, some weeks we have 5,000 things to talk about, can't get to all of them, and other times we've had 2 or 3, and this is one of those 2 or 3 times. Also, don't forget, 1190, we're upgrading our signal, upgrading our coverage. The guy said it'd be the engineer, and the people out of Texas said it was going to be 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. It's going to be another 2 or 3 days, but you know how remodeling goes. They never tell you the appropriate time, but when it's done, 1190 will be booming. But in the meantime, if you can't hear us as strong as you'd like, as clear as you'd like, flip us over to 1430. That's KZQZ, our golden oldie station for the best in 50s and 60s. And you'll hear us booming all the way to the Indiana border, up to Bloomington, out to Columbia, Missouri, all over the place. 4.5 million potential listeners on the two stations, so bear with us on 1190. It's coming real soon. Honor our military, and I do every day, and I hope all you good listeners do. November the 11th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's our 4th annual Veterans Day celebration. It's at the Arnold Meideke at 4021 West Outer Road in Arnold, Missouri. It says call for an appointment. All veterans and active military personnel, free oil changes, coffee, donuts, barbecue, soft drinks. It says bring your photos and stories for all of us to share. What a great group of guys out there in Arnold, Missouri. I want to salute the Arnold Meideke people. And on this flyer, it says, God bless America. And at some point, God better bless America, because if he doesn't, and if we don't come together as Americans, it's going to be a bad time for all of us. So, again, the Arnold Meideke at 4021 West Outer Road in Arnold, Missouri. Their telephone number, 636-464-6700. Their 4th annual Veterans Day celebration. Our good friends and neighbors, the 59th annual Chicken and Beer Dance, put on by the Belleville Fire Department. Belleville Fire Association, their Local 53 presents Old Salt Union. Doors will open at 6. Food will be served at 7. $20 admission. All you can eat chicken, all you can drink beer at Fisher's Restaurant. That's November the 7th. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact 234-2244. That's 234-2244 to get your tickets. Radio station will be there. And I want to salute again all our first responders, policemen, firemen, medics, dispatchers, everybody that helps keep us safe. Thank you very much. Millstadt American Legion Post 502. They're having their meat shoot this Sunday, November the 1st, at TR's Place, 4901 Concordia Road in Belleville. Be from noon to 5 p.m. Bring your own gun or use ours. Says the radio station is more than welcome. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact Dennis at 618-476-7744. The East St. Louis Veterans Memorial Post 2505, the American Legion, Department of Illinois. Their annual Veterans Day dinner event for 2015, honoring our hometown business entrepreneurs. That'll be Sunday, November the 8th. Tickets are $30 to be held at the Clyde C. Jardin Senior Citizen Center, 6755 State Street in East St. Louis. For any questions or concerns, or if you'd like to purchase tickets, you can call 618-616-1720 or 618-874-1300. My good friend, Digger, thank you very much for the kind words. Send us another email. Digger has his free Halloween walk through Mascoutah, and it's located at 212 Fillmore Street. It's on the corner of South Route 4 and Fillmore. They have a donation box for the Mascoutah Food Pantry. Digger's Haunted Yards in its 9th year. They've got Freddie, Jason, Pinhead animated features. I guess they've got some of the St. Clair County politicians there. It's going to be a good time for everybody. It's an outdoor event, open every night from dark to 10 p.m. and later on weekends. It has wheelchair access. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call Digger, that's Wayne Laquette, at 979-5639. And also in Mascoutah, Danny Kranz. Danny, you sent us something on a Moose WortSmart, but you didn't send us the information. So Danny's a great guy from Southside Auto Body, a friend of ours, a good friend from Mascoutah. You know, I love the people in Mascoutah, but more than the people, I love that name, Mascoutah. You know, what a great name, Mascoutah. So we want to salute everyone in Mascoutah, and Danny Kranz from Southside Auto Body. Send me whatever information you have. Here we go. Never mind. I just got it hot off the press. The WortSmart in Mascoutah, Sunday, November the 8th from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Mascoutah Moose Lodge, 111 North 2nd Street in Mascoutah, Illinois. All you can eat. Pork sausage, sauerkraut, mashed potatoes. Great people in Mascoutah. They'll have carryouts. You can call 618-566-4406. And they're going to have a free dance with meal purchase, music by the Cactus Moon. And I think Mascoutah, part of that is Charlie Myers District. So you people on the, the east side of Mascoutah, don't forget Charlie Myers coming up next election. He's done a lot for Mascoutah, done a lot for the 108th District, and I'm sure he'll continue to do so. St. Wenceslaus, took me 4 years to get that right. but now I've got it. St. Wenceslaus Parish, their fall festival. Saturday, November the 7th, from noon to 9 p.m. Fried chicken and roast beef dinner served from noon to 7 p.m. If you guys can make it out there, please do. Great bunch of people out at St. Wenceslaus, and I'm going to say hello and thank you, Chris Bardo. He's always sending us information. Thank you very much, Chris. AmVets Post 51, located at 5100 Lakeview in Granite City. Meat shoot every Sunday until November the 22nd. Don't forget, you can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. You can go to our streaming, insanebroadcasting.com. One word, common spelling. Please like us on Facebook at KQQZ 1190 AM, and also our sister station for the best in the golden oldies. And actually, last week, voted the number one radio station in the St. Louis market, KZQZ 1430 AM. You can hear my repeat performance every day at 4 o'clock p.m. And also now broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night, Monday through Friday at the stroke of midnight. On this date, October the 27th, 1829, the first patent for a baby carriage was issued in the United States. On this date, October 27th, 1858, Roland H. Macy opened Macy's department store in New York City. Gross receipts for that day was $1,106. On this date, October the 27th, 1901, boxer shorts were introduced. Unlike the Speedos and the thongs that I think Kern and Sprague and these ignorant bastards in Belleville wear, these bastard politicians. Anyway, on this date, October the 27th, 1906, in football, the forward pass was legalized. On this date, October the 27th, 1925, water skis were patented by Fred Waller. On this date, October the 27th, 1938, DuPont announced the name for its new synthetic fiber yarn called nylons. And I think Kern and Sprague know all about, hey, Sprague, do you wear nylons under them drawers, under them pink drawers you use, you rotten bastard son of a bitch in St. Clair County politicians? You can all kiss my ass. Okay, October the 27th, 1954, Benjamin O. Davis Jr. became the first African-American general in the United States Air Force. On this date, October the 27th, 1969, Ralph Nader set up a consumer organization known as Nader's Raiders. Yeah. On this date, October the 27th, 1982, China announced its population at 1 billion people plus. On this date, October the 27th, 2004, the Boston Red Sox won their first World Series in 86 years by defeating the St. Louis Cardinals 4-0. That's what happened on this date, October the 27th, throughout all these years in our world's history. I said I've got my good friend John Watkins. He was a teacher in School District 189. I just got this. Did you know that when Arthur Culver, the superintendent for School District 189, came, he brought the gypsies, it says in parentheses, Darlin Norris, Beth Shepard, Sue McGowan, and Fred Clark. They were all in Texas or Champaign. He brought all these people, top administrators, with him. What's the matter, Culver? You couldn't find some qualified people in East St. Louis? Those people in East St. Louis, those good teachers, those administrators aren't going to kiss your black, stinky, hairy ass. And it is black and stinky and hairy. Did you know that now you gotta have a flow chart like they do in these crime shows that shows the mafia head and then it branches off, because this is going to be hard to understand. Joe Haskell, Beth Shepard's nephew. Beth Shepard is one that Arthur Culver brought down from Champaign. Joe Haskell, Beth Shepard's nephew, is the director of buildings and grounds. So there's another employee that didn't come from the East St. Louis area. Garrett Harner, School District 189 attorney, is the number 2 man in the St. Clair County Democratic Party. Well, that goes without saying, and we won't go there right now. We've got other information on the Democratic Party. Aracemia Clark, Frank Clark's wife, Frank Clark's one that they brought up from Champaign, is not certified to teach Spanish, yet she teaches at the Mason Clark School. Now, all this is alleged at this time. We haven't verified all this, but we'll allege all this. School District 189 is paying for Mrs. Clark's certification. LaToya Greenwood, 189, Human Resource Director, has transferred her son from School District 189 to Blessed Sacrament in Belleville. Now, that's really egregious and atrocious that an East St. Louis School District board member doesn't want their children going to School District 189. What the hell does that tell you about their leadership? Senator Foghorn, I say Buckwheat Claiborne, his son, Joseph, is Arthur Culver, the superintendent of School District 189, is his attorney. What kind of political inbreeding is this? Arthur Culver awarded Senator Claiborne's cousin, Kenny Johnson, the Aetna insurance contract. And again, this is all alleged at this time. State officials, the despicable duo, and this is coming from East St. Louis, not from me. State officials, the despicable duo, James Claiborne and Eddie Jackson, have done nothing to help the poor kids of East St. Louis. Yet they are running for re-election in the February 16 election, and you should not vote for them. I'll have to agree with that. Devin Harton, another one that Arthur Culver is taken under his wing, has deficiencies on his application for superintendent, and he flies back and forth to Chicago to work on his superintendent credentials. Boy, this is killing me. Devin Harton, the guy we just talked about, his cousin Casey Boyd came from Chicago and works as a librarian at East St. Louis High School for $90,000 plus a year. More than 75% of the East St. Louis School Board has no college education. Arthur Culver has Mr. in front of his name, but loves to be called doctor. You can't be called doctor, you idiot, until you have certification and the proper credentials. Now, I don't know about this. It's alleged that Arthur Culver is running the biggest racket in Illinois. Amika Jackson Hicks, the daughter of State Representative Eddie Jackson, has done nothing to intervene. And last but not least, it says Arthur Culver was overheard saying, "You're going to crawl back crying before Christmas." That's some of the crap that Arthur Culver and his thugs, his political thugs from Champaign and Chicago, have brought to you good people in School District 189. Mr. John Watkins, an ex-teacher at Clark Middle School, what the hell do you think's going on?
Good question, Bob, and I know a lot of people are wondering exactly that. I know some teachers in East St. Louis. Several of my former students are teaching in East St. Louis. District 189 has a proud history. However, all they want is a fair contract. All they want is to be paid an equitable, fair amount. And we've got a group of people in charge of this district that somehow have put $30 million in the bank. Well, unless I'm mistaken, that money was issued to the District 189 in order to better education, in order to provide a stimulus for the district, to improve the district and the job they do. What's it doing in the bank? Spend the money on the teachers, spend the money on the facilities, spend the money on what it's designed to be spent for. We don't need a bank account for that District 189. What we need is some action and some responsible leadership.
How long have you been out of the school district, John?
I've been retired for 11 years, and I stay in touch with them. As a matter of fact, when I leave this station today, I'm going to head down to East St. Louis and walk the picket line with them. I'm not going to cut any bones about who I endorse here.
Yeah.
These guys, look, when you're in the inner city, you've got to love your kids in order to do your job. If you don't care about your kids, if your kids don't know that you care, they don't care what you know.
Yeah.
They don't care what you could teach them.
Yeah, well, you hit it right, John, when you said your kids. It's not Culver's kids. It's not Fred Clark's kids. It's not Darwin Norris's kids or Beth Shepherd kids. Their kids are in Chicago. Their kids are in Champaign. Their kids aren't in the East St. Louis School District 189. They wouldn't tolerate that. And I challenge every one of you school district administrators, do what's right for the students of 189, not what's right for you and your family.
Bob, you're 100% right. And, hey, send these people back to Chicago. What do they know about our history? What do they know about our individuals and people? For example, Walter Hood, one of my teammates from the 60s at East St. Louis Senior High School, as I said, his daughter's teaching. I know these guys. I went to school with them when I was in school. The junior high that I taught at for over 34 years was the same one I graduated from in 1962. The high school that I graduated from in 1965 is still there. It's been remodeled. It looks really good. But, you know, you develop a relationship with people over the years, and you know what they're made of. You know what they have inside their heart. And some of the people that are calling the shots here do not have kindness in their heart.
No, they know they've got evil. Arthur Culver, you no count, low life, good for nothing piece of crap. Take care of those students. The teachers are secondary, and the teachers have families. They've got to feed their families during the holidays, but more so than the teachers, who deserve whatever they can get, because this is a free enterprise system in this great country. Everybody wants what they can get, and I understand that. But I say day in and day out, they have the most precious commodity in this world, our children. So let's give them what they want. Let's get these children in School District 189 back to school. They've got a rough enough time living in East St. Louis. They've got a rough enough time trying to come up and get a good education through no fault of their own. So let's don't penalize them. Let's don't penalize them any more than we're already doing. Let's don't give them 2 steps behind when they've already started 1 step behind. Mr. John Watkins, thank you very much, buddy. We're going to take a quick break momentarily. I've got a call. Charlie Myers is on his way in. But I got to say, I read in the newspaper something about Mid-America Airport, and this lady's from Lindsborg, Merv and Ada Lair, and I know I'm going to piss them off, but they talked about how nice the flight was. Got there 30 minutes early, didn't have to worry about no traffic, didn't have to worry about parking. Hell no, Ida, because there's nobody there. There's nobody there. Now, I know you're happy as hell, and the 200 people on the Allegiant flight to Vegas that are spending all your money out in Vegas instead of St. Clair County, I know it's convenient, but not at the tune of $12 to $15 million a year. If I decide, and I think I'm going to be a candidate for state representative, that's in my district. And I will promise everybody all throughout St. Clair County, not just in the 114th state representative district, I'll fight. If we got to go to war, I don't give a damn. You know how you get things done? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. And I got enough grease for a lot of squeaky wheels. And we're going to fight. We're already $500 million in debt, people. We've already lost $500 million. You can't cry over spilt milk or $500 million. But we can put a stop to it. And the good people of St. Clair County doesn't deserve what we're getting screwed by these son of a bitches so their sons, their daughters, their mothers, fathers can have jobs at the airport. We were out there with the fleecing of America with NBC about a month ago. They were amazed. There wasn't one person at the airport. There wasn't a security guard. There wasn't a secretary. There wasn't a receptionist. There wasn't a janitor. Well, why the hell do you need a janitor when there's no people? But for Ada, what's her last name? Ada Lair, and I appreciate what you're saying, Ada, but you got to understand, this universe is bigger than you. This universe is bigger than me. This universe is bigger than all of us put together. And it is convenient, but not at the tune of $12 to $15 million at taxpayers' expense. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio.
This is Bob Romanik. the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM. Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio, and we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Before we go on, I'm still waiting for Charlie Meyer to come in. John Watkins wanted me to say Nancy Tyler. Nancy Tyler has the best barbershop in Collinsville, and she has been gracious enough to offer a free shave and haircut. I hope she's got a lot of razors around there, John. A free shave and haircut for Mrs. Hairy-Ass Aaron Kern. So the Sasquatch, as we all know her. Mrs. Kern, a free shave and haircut. They may have to take a little bit of time and get their brush hogs sharpened up, but you can get a free shave and haircut at Nancy Tyler, the best barbershop in Collinsville. And Nancy, thank you very much for listening. Charlie Myers just walked in, but he walked out. Charlie, come on back in here. You know what? So have a seat, Charlie. You know what I like about Charlie Myers? He's a decent guy. Now, he comes on, and he's transparent, and he wants to talk to his people. A lot of times, he'll cringe at what I say, but this is the disclaimer I always give. Charlie Myers is not here to endorse me, to endorse my crazy crap. He's not here to endorse anything I say or do. He's here because he represents the people of the 108th State Representative District out of Oakville that covers a lot of Clinton County, and we'll talk about that. But so don't hold anything I say against not only Charlie Myers. I always say Charlie Myers. I don't know why it's Charlie Meyer. I don't know why people want to hold what I say against everybody else. This is America. We can say what we want, but attribute what I say to me, attribute what Charlie Meyer says to Charlie. And Charlie, have a seat there, buddy. How the heck you doing?
Oh, it's a beautiful day out there, Bob. I like a rainy day. It's been dry for a long time, and so this farmer is happy to see rain and hopes that it rains all day long.
Now, why is rain beneficial to you as a farmer? Don't everything get muddy? How can you do any work?
We've got our fall wheat crop in the ground, and it needs a little moisture on it to get it rooted well into the ground. If I heard you talk about your weather forecast earlier, if you go back, we look at years and traits and things. In 2011, we had a wet spring and then a dry fall, much like this year, and that was followed by 2012 when we didn't raise a crop. So any moisture right now, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Charlie, I think I have occasionally. I always salute the policemen, the firemen, everybody but the politicians. And I want to say right up front, Charlie Meyer is not a politician. He's a public servant. Now, he plays politics to get elected because that's just our system. But once a true leader of the community gets elected playing politics, he automatically becomes a public servant. Charlie, I've talked to people in Oakville. I've talked to people in Nashville, all throughout your state representative district. And if you can do something for a Democrat, you'll do it. That's not happening here in St. Clair County.
We try to help everybody. It's a big district. State of Illinois is messed up, and sometimes we can help people, and sometimes we can't. But we'll give it a try, and we've even helped people from out of the district if they can't get help from their representative.
Hey, let's get started, Charlie, and I want to talk about the state budget. But before we do that, the number one subject near and dear to your heart, I know we can never complete a show that you're on without talking about your little pet peeve. And I shouldn't say little, it's a big concern of yours and a lot of people in the Centralia area, the Murray Center.
Yes, and we last weekend, a week and a half ago, we had our parade there to celebrate Murray Center being open. And right before the parade, we had a federal court ruling. We still have our federal case, and it is still going on. But a judge ruled on the closure part of it. And the judge ruled, since there is no active closure at Murray right now, that are trying to stop the active closing of Murray, that the state could close Murray if they wanted to, but he spelled out there many, many times that the residents were guaranteed a choice. And when we started this fight, they were never guaranteed a choice. They were all going to live in silos, and every institution in the state would be closed. So the judge ruled, saying Murray could be closed, but we're not on a closure list now. We are open. We are hiring people back, and we are moving forward. And the state cannot go out there now and close every institution, much like ARC wanted them to. The federal judges have said these residents are guaranteed a choice, and that was never given to them before. Yeah. So it was a huge ruling for us, and then we had our parade because many of our residents, we can't even get out of the building, so they've never seen a parade. So we had the parade come to Murray Center, and it's a 138-acre facility, and we had bands, fire trucks, police cars, A-bait riders, floats, and we all came to there and brought the parade to them. For the residents that couldn't get outside, they got to watch from their rooms. And for other ones, we had them outside with their IVs hooked up to them watching the parade. And we had a gentleman come down from up by Mulberry Grove, and he brought down 2 ligers and a baby kangaroo. So our residents got to see these beautiful full-grown ligers.
What is a liger, Charlie?
A liger is a cross between a lion and a tiger. Oh. And these animals get to be about 700 pounds, occurs occasionally out in the wild. And these were bred this way. This gentleman is part of a group that was having some issues, and we helped them out, and so he brought these animals down. And their group right now is working on being able to reintroduce animals back into Africa. We have such a huge genetic pool here in America of wild animals from Africa, and as the poaching and everything's taken on in Africa, that genetic pool has been greatly dwindled. So we're working so that we can get more animals reintroduced in the future. But he brought these animals down, and our residents loved them. The one liger was named Charlie. Now, Charlie really liked drumsticks, but he ate his raw. I like mine deep fried.
Yeah. Hey, Charlie, people have to go to that Murray Center. These are children and some adults that weren't fortunate enough as we were to live a decent life, to be able to walk and talk and live on our own. Until people actually witness that, they really don't know the situation there. But I promise you that if there's 10,000 people that go through the Murray Center next week, and 9,999 don't feel in their heart that they want to help or do something, then they're not human beings. They got to get out there to really understand the complexity of their people, of those decent people's lives.
Yes, these are people, it's not their fault, the problems they have. And we still have issues. We have wards of the state that have no family members. And on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, Easter, they can't go and be with a family. We have people wanting to become their guardians, and the state of Illinois is still not allowing that to happen. If they had them as their guardians, they could go celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving with a caring family that would know how to take care of them. And, if it's not, a lot of them can't leave Murray, but some could. And so this is a battle we have to keep going on, Bob. But, the parade was wonderful. The residents were so excited. Many of them told us it was the best day ever in their life.
Yeah.
And
well, a little thing like a parade makes all the difference in the world to those people. Let me tell you, listeners, be thankful. Whether you're religious or not, be thankful for what you got. Because once you went out of that Murray Center, I don't give a damn if you ate one meal a day, you'd feel thankful. Right, Charlie?
You'd be very thankful. And we had 1,000 people come to that parade, Bob, to show up for the residents. We had many high schools and the junior college send students there to help take the residents out for the parade, to help them be pushed around or to get them cotton candy. The parade wasn't like a normal parade because we allowed no food brought into the premises. Of those 220-some residents, it's about 160 specific meals have to be made for every meal. That's how specific the diets are for these residents. So we had to be careful. No food or candy could be brought in for them.
Okay, but everything else going okay out at the Murray Center, right?
Everything else is going along fine, except that right now I'm out there. If anybody's doing any home remodeling or building on or something, and you have a very good furnace yet, and you're just putting in a bigger one or a new, more efficient or a green system, we've got our one cottage has got where families come and stay. for a weekend. If they've got a loved one and they live in Chicago, they stay there. Their family member comes from their a building over, and it's a little family cottage, and the furnace is out. So, if we can get a good furnace, or if somebody'd love to donate a new furnace, our employees can put it in. But I'm looking for a very good used furnace or a new one yet right now.
Charlie, I don't know what's a new furnace going to cost.
Probably about $1,600.
I'll tell you what, it would be my honor to donate at $1,600 out of respect for my son. So I hope you take it.
Well, Bob, I'll take it. I am very thankful for that. I grieved with you. I did not get to the funeral home, but I made a memorial donation to Murray in honor of your son.
I appreciate that.
And I appreciate your offer. This just helps our families still have time together, and you realize that when you had the loss that you do, how important this is for people.
Well, we'll I'd honor my son, Charlie, get you checked tomorrow. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is Bob Romanik.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio, and we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Got with me our good friend, a great representative of the 108th State Representative District out of Oakville, Charlie Meyer. We talk about Murray Center, and Charlie, I could talk about Murray Center all day, and so could you, and we talked off the air. Unless you go out to the Murray Center and see those less fortunate people, you really don't know what's going on. But Charlie, I want to salute you for everything you've done for the Murray Center to keep it alive, to keep it going. Let's get off on another subject. Let's talk about the state budget, Charlie. I hate, and I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I hate that there has to be an R or a D or an I behind people's name, but in our system of government, that's what we have to have. But these people, a lot of Democrats are saying now they're trying to flip the script after 10, 12 years of Madigan mismanagement in Springfield and Chicago. Rauner's been here 6-8 months trying to tighten everybody's belt, and it's all Rauner's fault. Are people that stupid, or they just play so hardball politics they don't really realize what's going on?
I really, coming in as an outsider myself to Springfield, had no idea the control that Michael Madigan has had over his 32 years as Speaker of the House of Representatives. He is the most powerful man in the state of Illinois. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have supermajorities in the House, supermajority in the Senate, and they had the last governors for the last 12 years. Now, all of a sudden, there was a man elected to try to change Springfield, to change the course. The fact that we've not had balanced budgets, that we're going further and further in debt, that our credit ratings are down to junk bond status. And the people elected this man. They didn't elect a Democrat. They elected a Republican who wanted change. And Madigan is now saying that Rauner is the problem of all evils, and that he's crazy and unresponsible and insane and everything else they can throw the book at him. One man in the state of Illinois in his 8, 9, 10 months of being in office could not have put us this $150 billion that we're probably in debt. We think that the debt, they keep saying $110 billion in pension, is higher than that. Our back bills for the state of Illinois, our money is all being spent by what federal judges tell us now. We have nothing else left to fund. I was at a prayer vigil last week. There was a little, probably 4-year-old boy there, and I looked out at him during this prayer vigil, and I thought, That boy has no idea about politics, about Republicans or Democrats, and yet he already has a state debt. His share of the debt is $44,000, and every year we have, like this year, we're going to put an extra $4,500 worth of debt on him. You know, that's not right. That's not right for our children. That's not right for our senior citizens. It's not right for our veterans. We have to change the way things have been done in the state. We have to change purchasing policies. We have to look for ways of making cuts. And there are cuts out there. And there are people out there who have been given jobs who really don't do anything, Bob.
You know, Charlie, I just ask this rhetorically of you because I know you don't know, but how much longer can the Democrats think they could have kicked the can down the street before at some point in time it's going to come back to just blow this state up? I mean, how many more years did they think they had? I guess they just going to get up and leave when the times get too hard, but we got to put a stop to it now, Charlie. Everybody's going to have to suffer a little bit.
I guess to try to figure out how long the time we'd have left, we'd have to see when Madigan has his appointment with the Mayflower Company. You know, you can't get trucks to move out of Illinois because they all keep going out and none of them come back. And we're losing a family every 7 minutes now, I believe.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that our state population continues to drop, but nobody moves in here. The day you move in, if you're a family of four, you've got $180,000 worth of debt instantly. That's your share of the state debt.
And
why would you move here?
And it's
getting worse constantly. So we're trying to make a change. We're trying to do what we can. I encourage you to call all your legislators and the Speaker and the President of the Senate, too, and leave a message that it's time that we truly have a balanced budget. In the past, they would borrow funds or take the funds out of next year's budget to this year's budget to call it balanced. And that's not a balanced budget. You know, and we're in terrible shape. If you want to look at the bright spot, we're not as bad off as Chicago.
Yeah.
And Chicago's a lot worse shape. And, you know, I would believe Chicago could very easily declare bankruptcy in the next year or two.
You know, Charlie, we speak about all the laws that you guys make in Springfield, you and the state senators. And they talk about these guns. And they say, take the guns out of the hands of people. I say, no, let's don't control the guns. Let's control the violent people. And now with this concealed carry, they want to put it on campuses. I see nothing wrong with a college instructor, if he's qualified, if he's taken the course, to have a gun in his possession. Since there's been concealed carry in Illinois, I don't know, and maybe you do, has there been a proliferation of shootings because good people are carrying guns to protect themselves? I don't see a big increase in any kind of shooting of people.
I've not seen that increase. You know, there are a lot of illegal guns up in Chicago, and there's a lot of thugs with these guns. And so, you know, we've got to do something about that. But the records show that when you have honest citizens, with law-abiding citizens, with conceal and carry, that people are less likely to commit a crime against them. They're
right.
not sure who's sitting next to them if that person has a conceal and carry. You know, I fought hard for our military families to be able to have conceal and carry in this state, since we don't recognize other states. And they're not an Illinois resident because they're just living here on the base for a year or two. And we can get that bill to move nowhere. But we will keep working with conceal and carry. You know, out in districts in southern Illinois, the police time to get to a school takes a long time.
Right.
You know, and we as funds have been cut, we don't have funds for all the officers we should have.
Yeah, that's a shame, and you're right. Well, Charlie, if the school that's having problems is 4 minutes away from a police station, that 4 minutes could be crucial. So, and again, if you've got police officers in every school, that's okay, but we can't afford that, so we're going to have to do something. And I just hope the state will get together and work with the decent people to keep guns in their hands, but let's take them out of the crazy son of a bitch's hands.
Well, you know, as we continue to turn our back on mental illness, it's that illness that's causing a lot of these problems. We need to address mental illness, be willing to help these people, and make sure that these people don't have guns, but that our law-abiding citizens. I mean, it's a constitutional right. It's been guaranteed to us by our forefathers that we have the right to bear arms.
Yeah. Charlie, we got about a minute. You got the last word.
Well, you know, Bob, you had a lot of events coming up, and I always like to put in a word for my district.
Yes, you do.
So on Sunday, the Highland American Legion has their breakfast. They do that monthly. Also in Bartelso Sunday at the Catholic Church is the chicken and I think it's roast beef dinner. Farron has their church has their worst mart. The Marine United Methodist Church has their sausage supper. The Oakville Community Club has their spaghetti dinner, and the Highland VFW turkey shoot is also Sunday afternoon. So there's always a lot of places to go in my district, and some of those days I make 5 or 7 of those meals, and that's why I keep getting fatter, Bob.
Yeah,
you know,
Charlie,
we're going to have to get these microphones where they get past my stomach soon and get to my mouth.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you get any bigger, and you're not that big, we're going to have to rearrange the doors. So, Charlie, slow down at all these functions that you go to, buddy.
Well, we'll have to see what we can do on that. But, you know, Bob, it's always good to come on your show. I appreciate your friendship, and you know, we just got to keep plugging away at the system in Illinois that is broken. And, you know, if we come into St. Clair County and when you look at the way jobs have been divvied out in this county, we need qualified people in positions doing a good job and looking for ways to save taxpayers' dollars.
Charlie Myers, State Representative, 108th District out of Oakville, a true public servant. Thank you very much for your time, Charlie. I know you're a busy man. Best of luck in the upcoming election.
Thank you, Bob.
I got to go. We'll see you tomorrow. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio. And you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, simulcasting on KZQZ 1430 AM, Insane Broadcasting, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow. We'll be on the same page day in and day out. We're going to continue. And the closer it gets to election, the more we're going to beat politically, of course, beat these bastards down, because it's time that our great country is taken back by the real owners, us, not the politicians, but the people we put in, the public servants. Let's all, as we say day in and day out, let's all work together. Let's all stay together. No divide and conquer. That's why we lose. Do not let them divide and conquer us, black, white, men, women, Democrats and Republicans. Let's all work together, because we're all, at the end of the day, no more than true Americans. So let's keep that American heritage going. So let's unite. Let's continue to expose. And at the end of this day and every day, get ready to destroy these son of a bitches that take from us day in and day out. Not the public servants, but the politicians, the political, parasitical, perverted punks that we call politicians. Oh, I forgot. Destroy them politically, of course. Not going to jail today. Right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.